Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial, and today we're in sunny Jacksonville, Florida at Pier 1, the future home of USS Orleck. We are filming this on February 5th, 2022. At this time, Orleck is still in dry dock at Gulf Copper Shipyard in Port Arthur, Texas. I believe, as I'm filming this, all of the hot work on her hull has been done. There have been patches made to the sea chests and other openings in the hull that had not been blanked over, and repairs have been made to the hurricane damage that her bow and stern sustained. She's going to get final coatings there in dry dock on her underwater hull. She'll be brought out. They're doing some work on the mast and the antennas that are on the mast. They'll do some more painting, and it could be as little as a month or two from now that USS Orleck is making her triumphant entry into downtown Jacksonville, where she'll be tied up here at the pier behind me. From that point, the clock starts ticking for them getting the museum set up so that visitors can come out and visit the ship. Now, it's very typical when a new museum ship is created that when you first get the ship, you focus on topside stuff, main deck. Destroyers tend to have a single main deck passageway with a lot of important sailor life stuff off of that. And from there, you get access to the bridge, to berthing spaces, to engineering spaces. All of these things come online later on in the life of the museum. So in relatively short order, we could be seeing a new museum ship joining the historic fleet and open for visitation. Now, Orleck, of course, served in the U.S. Navy. She's extremely historically significant for her service during the Vietnam War. Following a full career with the U.S. Navy, she's sold to Turkey. Turkey, when they decommission Orleck, donates her to a museum here in the United States that operates her in Texas. After sustaining some hurricane damage, the museum moves to Lake Charles, Louisiana, where they are able to dock the ship, but they aren't really able to get much access. And so that organization had some issues operating a full-size Navy ship. Meanwhile, in Jacksonville, they were trying to set up their own Navy museum, and they were trying to get from the U.S. Navy the former guided missile destroyer Charles F. Adams, which was on donation hold. Eventually, the Navy decided to scrap Adams instead of turn her into a museum. But the Jacksonville folks had a pier ready to go and an organization and fundraising apparatus already set up to support a museum ship. And so they got together with the folks in Lake Charles who had a museum ship but needed some support getting some maintenance work done and getting a pier of their own to display the ship from. And so that is the story of how Florida got their second massively significant museum ship. The Coast Guard cutter Ingham down in Key West is the most decorated Coast Guard cutter ever. She came to Florida probably about 10 or 15 years ago, off the top of my head. And now Florida's getting the most decorated destroyer that is left in this country. So, two very highly decorated ships displayed in this state. Florida, of course, as far as coastal states goes, doesn't have many museum ships. The next closest one, you got to go all the way through Georgia and into South Carolina to Patriots Point, or all the way across Florida into Mobile, Alabama, where you've got the Battleship Alabama and the submarine Drum. There's also the Victory ship American Victory in Tampa Bay, but compared to states like New York, Pennsylvania, and California that have dozens of museum ships, Florida, for all of its coastline, and all of its tourism to boot, is relatively without. So I am personally very excited to see Jacksonville get a museum ship. I'm very excited to see what the folks here are able to do with their highly decorated ship. I have been watching her restoration with great interest these last couple of months, and I'm real excited to see what the future holds for this vessel. Expect me to come back down to Jacksonville in the near future to see what sort of organization they get set up and how the museum develops. If you're a sailor stationed at Mayport or Pensacola, you're going to have a great volunteer opportunity here, a group of folks looking for your support. If you are from out of state, there's a link in the description below for the Jacksonville Tourism Bureau. You can see what other great things there is to do in Jacksonville. There's a ton of historic stuff, but also more nature stuff. And then of course you're in the middle of Florida, so there's all sorts of other things to do in this state. And finally, there's a link in the description below to the various Jacksonville social media, so you can keep an eye on Orleck's progress as she gets closer and closer to being reopened as a museum ship and opened as Jacksonville's first museum ship. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. If you would like to support a museum ship, check out that link below to the Jacksonville Historic Naval Ships Association donate page. They could really use some support as they're getting their organization started up and tackling the major deferred maintenances of Orleck. You can support Battleship New Jersey by liking, sharing, and subscribing. That way, more people find out about our museum and our channel. And thanks for watching.